Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. Not long ago, we featured a one-hour special on the importance of providing positive role models, specifically to young black males. Mentors help young people find their way in the world, helping them avoid risky behaviors, bad choices, brushes with the juvenile justice system, incarceration, and sometimes worse. But the importance of mentors and positive role models goes beyond racial and gender divides. All youth benefit from the support of caring adults, willing to be there to guide, not judge, provide insight and direction. To discuss the importance of mentoring and the array of opportunities you, our viewers, can consider. Joining us today are Tony Thompson, a mentor with Take Stock in Children, Eduardo Noriega, who serves as both mentor and case manager for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Broward County, Mariza Cobb, a mentor with Women of Tomorrow and a former council member, and Brent Folks, a mentor through the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you for having us.
So the first myth I want to dispel is that you have to have some special qualifications or characteristics or be unemployed in order to be a mentor. So I want you each to tell a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you got into mentoring, because it really is for everyone. So Brent, let's start with you.
Okay, well Cindy, thank you for having me and allowing me to have the opportunity to highlight our program. And I'm a pilot by trade and fly for United Parcel Service, been a pilot for 13 years and really enjoy it. Mentoring to me is just very special because when I growing up in Detroit, Michigan, I wasn't the greatest high school student, if you can believe that. But
I can't. You look like you were a star.
But you know, I got a chance to meet a pilot who flew for the Detroit Police Department, and he really just kind of took me under his wing, and you know, he taught me how to act and walk and look and do the things that I should do to emulate what I want it to be, you know what I mean? And then the schooling part and the other aspects of making that dream come true just kind of came through as being around him and understanding just mimicking him could help me out a lot. So it really came through, and through that help, I just felt like it was the right thing to do to help out other kids, because you really just, you're really close to success. You just don't know how close you are, but you just have to take a little ownership. And if you don't know exactly how to do it, sometimes being around other people that are doing great things can help you out.
That's awesome. We're going to get back to a little bit more about how you do it and where after we hear from everybody. Right. So Mariza, tell us about who you are and how you got into this.
I am an attorney. I actually, as my background, I grew up in the South. And in the South, it was very difficult. I grew up in a period of time where you had the integration, desegregation, and a whole very volatile process that was in place. And I happened to stand out amongst my peers, and I had somebody take me under her wing and encourage me that, don't let anybody pigeonhole you because of the color of your skin. The sky is the limit. You need to believe in yourself. And I took that to heart. And in growing up and eventually becoming an attorney, I ended up working with the Attorney General's office after my stint as a prosecutor in Miami. And I worked in the child welfare system. And I noticed that the children who were unfortunately involved in that system really truly needed an adult who would be a consistent, positive person in their lives. Very often we would have the children come into the courtrooms and talk about their travails. And I decided, you know what, rather than just being the attorney on the sidelines in terms of, having some influence on being a positive role model, I wanted to become a mentor. And I found the Women of Tomorrow program, and it's a tremendous program that was started by Jennifer Valapi and Don Brown in Miami, and it's expanded into the Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. And basically, it's a school-based mentor program, and we meet once a month. And we talk to the girls about things that young women have to deal with, domestic violence issues, diseases that are out there, the pressures of the economy, a whole lot of things, being involved in the juvenile justice system and how not to be involved in the juvenile justice system. And it was really truly an enlightening experience for me. I was educated as well. I did not know the extent of how complicated it could be for a teenage girl to have to navigate through the system. And I've been proud to say I've been involved with Women of Tomorrow at Fort Lauderdale High School since, I've been involved with them for 6 or 7 years now, and I'm proud to say that I've seen my girls just flourish. They're confident, and if there's anything I as a mentor can do and impart on a child is when you walk into a room, you've got your head held high, you've got a sense of dignity and belonging, and that's really the best that we can, as adults, can do to pay it forward to our children, because when their heads are down, they're not looking to the future, and that's why we're here. So,
well, and I have to say that having supported you as your staff while you were a member of the Children's Services Council, I had firsthand the opportunity to see that heart at work and your passion, and you're just amazing.
thank you, Cindy.
It's great. Eduardo, you serve a dual function as both a mentor and your work in this area.
Jack of all trades.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually a mass media communicator, and I'm from Venezuela originally. I've lived here for 17 years, and since I moved here, basically I've worked in the field of social work. And I got to be hired 6 years ago with Big Brothers Big Sisters as a case manager, basically doing interviewing and matching of the participants. And then after a year doing that, when you're interviewing volunteers, you ask a specific question that is in the, in the questionnaire. That is, who is that person in your life when you were growing up that provided you guidance, friendship, support? And then, the volunteer comes up with a person, which basically is a person that they have never maybe remembered, or a person that maybe they have never acknowledged them for. And so that is, one day, I was in the parking lot, and then I was thinking about this question that I always ask the volunteers, and then I said, for myself, who is that person? And I realized it came immediately. It was my brother-in-law. And then I grabbed the phone and I called him right away to let him know the extraordinary person he has been in my life. And even they have divorced, my sister and him and whatever, but still he's present in my life, and as he always was, and very fundamental in my adolescence. So so I decided to mentor a child as well. I have the luxury of being able to pick the child that I wanted to mentor, because I'm the one who was doing the interviewing. So I got to interview this kid, a 14-year-old kid, that what really struck me was that when I had my portion with a child, which is a private interview, he said to me, looking right straight into my eyes, I need help. And he needed a lot of help, yes. And so basically I've been involved in his life up until now. He's 19. We have graduated from the program because once the kid turns 18, he's already an adult, but we still keep a relationship and doing my best in making a difference in his life.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Anthony, tell us a little bit about how you got involved.
Well, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina originally, so I'm a child of the civil rights era. And I came here in 1978 as an outside plant engineer for Bell South Telecommunications. Prior to retiring in 2002, I discovered Take Stock in Children, which is a nonprofit organization which pairs low-income scholars who are eager to achieve with professional adults to mentor them. And I've got very excited about that. So far, I've had 4 successful graduates from the program. One has already finished college and is working and has his own business. A second is a senior in college now. A third is a freshman in college in a pharmaceutical program. And the current mentee is a high school freshman.
That's awesome. I didn't give you a chance, Brent, to say who you're mentoring through and the role you're playing in the organization.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Fort Lauderdale Alumni, and through the fraternity, what we have is a community-based mentoring program, and I'm the chairman of that program. I've been a chairman for about 3 years, and we've had the program since the 90s, and we just kind of go through different members in the chapter, and by being a community-based organization, you know, allows us to just have constant contact with the kids, you know, weekends, evenings. You know, I got a call last night for somebody needing some service hours at, you know, 9:30. Needing me to sign their form. You know? So, you know, and we try to get them to think big. You know, that's our theme, and we can partner with the other brothers in our chapters and use their kind of expertise that they have through their jobs and things like that. And we just want our young men to think big and not kind of be just kind of bottlenecked in a certain area and kind of be held in a box, you know, so to speak. And so we get them to do big projects. We partner with the City of Fort Lauderdale, Broward County Health Department, working on tobacco issues for youth advocacy in that area. And we have a big project going on tomorrow at Carter Park, where all of our Kappa League members will be basically at Carter Park, advocating for youth prevention and tobacco, and telling kids, you know, the habits that are formed by smoking and the harmful effects it can have on their bodies. And they've partnered with the Fort Lauderdale and the Broward County Health Department. They developed the flyers themselves, advertised. They went through television stations, PSA commercials, and you know, it was through, you know, our direction, but they did the work, and it's important for them to understand and take stock in the community and think big, you know, and that just gets them to see the big picture, and that's one of the things that we like to build on that, so they can just have, you know, understand that the horizon, everything out there is theirs. You just have to be willing to, you know, take that step to go get it.
That's awesome.
So it's like, you know, they understand and comprehend that there is an expectation for them to do something good and positive. There's
definitely.
not an expectation for them to do anything but that.
Oh, definitely,
Right?
definitely. I mean, the same thing goes in school. I mean, with the graduation rate, I mean, you know, we don't kind of skim off the top with just the best. We take all, you know, the kids that come from Broward County area, high school males, that is. At this time, we only deal with males in our program. But, you know, we take the, you know, the 2.0s, you know, and when we work with them, and just have them understand just, you know, the circumstances that you may find yourself in, whatever they may be, you know, don't become a victim of it.
Right.
And just make sure, you know, you can still achieve everything that you want, but you got to take some ownership.
That's something that we talk about in the mentor sessions I have with the girls. Don't be a victim of your circumstances. Figure out, go into problem-solving mode and figure out, how do I get out of this, you know? Who are the positive people I can turn to, you know, in our lives? And what I found was interesting, because I mentor with Gail Butler with Auto Nation, 22 young women. And these 22 young women who didn't know each other from a hole in the wall, when they first start as freshmen, over the course of time, they become bonded. I mean, they start to look to each other for, you know, guidance on certain things. Those girls, when they walk down the hallways of their schools, they know they can look to somebody. They're not alone. They're not insular. There's somebody out there. So I have to think these outings are like great.
And that's very important what you're saying, because, like, for example, in the kid that I'm mentoring, basically everybody had given up on him. Like, the family was tired of his same conduct over and over. Yeah. The mom was having the hard trouble because of his behavior, and everybody was like, everybody had given up, and everybody was kind of felt unempowered or disempowered. And then basically what I see is that the role of a mentor is somehow to offer the child possibility. And basically you have to have the skill in a way to identify what is the potential of that kid, or to know that he has a potential that where he can get, and to make the child believe that's, you know, that he can get there. And especially we live in a society where schools and therapists are giving kids so many labels. Yeah. Like in my case, the kid that I was mentoring, he's been diagnosed ADHD, he's been diagnosed bipolar, he's been diagnosed OCD. I mean, he had all of them, all the tags.
Every
but
label.
Nonetheless, I mean, I basically the approach I took, you know what, if those are your labels, you know, live with them or discard them, do whatever you want, but maybe just embrace them and use them. I mean, being obsessive compulsive maybe can help you achieve greater things just by being totally, you know, focused and obsessive about it, you know. So, I mean, it's like, really, you become like the friend that the child doesn't have, that one person that with a vision of an adult can offer you what a true friend can give a child. And that the child, I think any kid craves for that deep inside.